You can never bring something back to the way it was. Conventional thing going on now is people are buying land and building single-family homes or condominiums on it. But there is a why in the road when you can change from where it was heading to where people that live here would rather have it go. Recently, we decided to try and restore some of the grape vineyard history of Catawba Island. I think it'll be an economic rewarding for the community. Get the topography to have more of the agricultural roots.
The history with winemaking in Ohio and actually across the country began in the 1850s with the largest vineyard and acreage being along the Ohio River. We've seen somewhat of a decline over the last 10 to 20 years in our vineyard production, but a drastic increase in our wine production. Part of the reason for the decline is an aging generation of grape growers, and the labor that it takes to grow grapes, it's some of the hardest work that anyone could ever undergo.
People don't appreciate how hard farming is, A, farming in Ohio, B, because all the elements. It's a lot harder to do it here. We get moisture when we don't need it. We don't get enough sunlight when we don't need it. You go to California and it's plus or minus 5% of the variability. So Ohio wine growers have to deal with what they get. You got to be a better winemaker.
We'd like to have our Ohio wineries using more Ohio-grown fruit, so making more Ohio-grown grapes available to them to use in their production. So the Vineyard Expansion Assistance Program, or the VEAP program, is a program that was put into place to help Ohio wineries and grape growers expand or implement new grape acreage into their vineyards. There were 26 applications to receive VEAP funding this year, and there were 14 recipients of the grant funds.
There's another little fruit there.
I've always been part of the farming community. When we received the grant, we were very thankful, and we are very excited to join the wine community.
When we first bought our first farm, they had about 10 rows of Concord, Niagara, and Catawba vines. The Vineyard Expansion Program has allowed us to plant 2 acres of grapes.
We're still learning all the ins and outs and who the organizations are, since we are just, a year old.
Because of the difficulty of growing grapes and also the risk to be a new grower, getting a grant gives you that confidence to go ahead and try.
To plant a vineyard, it takes not only a financial investment, but it takes a personal investment. You have to have a strong desire to work with people and consumers, but also to take care of the land, to work hard. You have to have a lot of passion. A lot of our winemakers and grape growers are artists. Growing grapes is very different than growing your traditional agricultural crops of corn or soybeans that you plant annually, you harvest annually. Grapes are actually the most value-added specialty crop in the country, and I believe maybe the world, in the sense of your return on investment and what those bring to a local economy. The more wineries and vineyards that we have in the state, the more visitors that come to experience the diversity in Ohio's wineries and vineyards. They have live entertainment, they're pet friendly, they're family friendly.
The community needs this to survive because everything is a building block. It's either adding blocks and building, or it's tearing blocks down and degrading. And when you start off with an amazing foundation, it seems crazy to not keep building on it.